Comedian Dave Chappelle attacked while performing on stage at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles. Police identified the assailant as 23-year-old Isaiah Lee, now charged with felony assault with a deadly weapon. Police say Lee had a replica gun that could actually eject a knife, but it is unclear if he tried to use the weapon. Bail is set at $30,000.
So it was a gun that identified as a knife. Was the attack a reaction to Chappelle's material, or was it inspired by the slap heard around the world at the Oscars when Will Smith slugged Chris Rock? Joining us now to discuss, host of the 13-Minute News Hour and Republican strategist Bobby Eberle, and former Nevada State GOP chairwoman Amy Tarkanian. Amy, what are your thoughts about this?
Well, obviously, this individual is mentally unstable, and I think we also know that he is homeless. How he was able to sneak through the metal detectors is a concern. He has upped his security since the whole Netflix debacle. And so, you know, that's another concern. Where was his security at that moment? It's reported that there were at least 20 individuals that took him down on stage. So was this man also on some type of drugs, you know, to have that kind of strength? So there's lots of very important unanswered questions in order to keep this individual safe. And I think we're at a time now where people have become so brazen and so bold, and it's getting incredibly scary.
Absolutely. Now, Bobby, you know, I think it's interesting because Dave Chappelle has widely been very public about his anti-woke beliefs. And today, after all of this happened, after the attack, he made a joke last night. Oh, it was a trans man, or it was a trans person. And of course, today he is now being attacked.
Right.
Condoning violence somehow doesn't seem to be quite right, but that's what it seems like all these woke mobsters are actually doing.
Well, absolutely. And the reason is because they have, over the last few years especially, they have put this argument out there that the free speech from conservatives is somehow harmful to the extent that it is violence, that it is causing a person physical harm, so that their only recourse is physical harm. They will combat words with punches and Molotov cocktails and violence and flipping cars over and just incident after incident, all in the name of stifling free speech. And Chappelle, I mean, he is a perfect example. He gets up on stage as a comedian where, you know, it's an equal opportunity insulter, right? But the left gets part of these issues and they just go crazy and want to cancel him. But what we've really seen over this last year is that American people have had enough. The woke cancel culture is about to be canceled.
You know who Dave Chappelle needed there? Needed Amy. Take a look at this shot we have. Amy, maybe you could tell us more about this. Apparently you're a fan from way back, and a lot of folks love Dave Chappelle. He's been funny for a very long time.
Yes, he has. In fact, that was probably about 20 to 25 years ago when my girlfriend Jenny and I went to go see his show in San Francisco. He was kind, he was hilarious, he was self-deprecating, and you're right, nobody was safe in that room. And it didn't matter religion, race, gender, he picked on you. And it was fantastic. And that's the kind of humor that I think we're all missing. Y'all need to just relax.
Exactly. And if you don't like what he's saying, don't go to his show. Go to somebody else's show. Bobby, Amy, stand by if you will. We're going to take a break and come back. All right, folks, joined once again by Amy Tarkanian and Bobby Eberle. Bobby, I wanted to start with you on this conversation. Since this leaked Roe v. Wade overturned document from the Supreme Court got out, it's all we've been talking about. It's all the Democrats actually want to talk about when you think about it, because they want to play this game. So let's do it a little differently. Let's say, what are we not talking about right now because the subject has changed?
Well, a couple of major things. I mean, you have some films coming out that talk about Mark Zuckerberg getting involved in the elections and some of the behind the scenes. No one is talking about that. They're pushing aside every major thing that is going wrong in the Biden administration. Remember, just last week, we were talking about the Ministry of Truth. It's kind of funny that this issue, which talks about leaking and kind of corruption, you know, underhanded dealings, is replacing the Ministry of Truth that Biden was trying to push on us. There are a host of issues that you already know the Democrats are going to try and ride to November. That's their hope right now in May. That's not going to happen. The American people are focused on the economy, the border, this inflation, gas prices, and their children, the safety and security of what's going on in their neighborhoods. This is a flash that the Democrats want right now. I mean, they're rioting in L.A. California is never going to change, but it's just another excuse for people in L.A. to riot. But it's going to fade, and we'll be back to the issues.
Amy, a question for you. Does this all seem like a little bit too convenient timing? I know we've touched on over the past couple days now how suddenly protesters just showed up, like as if on cue when this was leaked, and now it is that perfect smokescreen. Is it too convenient?
Yes, I mean, the mob justice was ready to do a flash mob, if you will, from the sidelines as soon as the leak was released. And, instead of talking about abortion, you just had in the prior segment before us a breaking news segment with Jerome Powell, the federal chair who increased our interest rates. Why aren't we now focused on that more? Because that's going to affect everyone despite your party affiliation. And that's why I think the timing of this it's intentional. So not only are we now not talking about the laundry list of things that were just mentioned, but we're also ignoring the fact that our pocketbooks are being spread so thin. They want us to ignore that, and they want us to focus on social issues, and they're going to try to taint the Republicans as horrible human beings because we're taking away your freedoms and your rights to choose, blah, 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 when they're the ones who, in fact, up until this point, have been damaging to our freedoms and our liberties.
All right. I appreciate everything you say, Amy, but the Ministry of Truth will be in touch. Okay.
I expect it.
Okay. Amy Tarkanian and Bobby Eberle, thank you so much.
All right, friends, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button above. Once you do, tell your friends, share it, spread the word about the 13-minute news hour so we can keep growing. And for more great content, check out these videos right here, and I'll see you next time.